podcast. 22-minute podcast. Don't want to take up much of your time. Just gonna read some headlines and stuff.
Welcome to the 22-minute podcast. My name is Wes Severson. Today is Monday, another one day, May 5th, and I am here with Mike Finley.
Hi, guys.
And James Fast. Nope.
Nope.
Oh, guess he's not here. Okay, you know, we're going to get through it anyway. Let me check. Nope, still not here. Okay, well, wow, just throwing a
Test check. Hello. No.
wheel in the spokes.
Wheel in the spokes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like spokes.
I'm a big wheel guy myself.
Well, here's the thing. If you have two wheels, then if you throw one wheel in the spokes, you still have the extra.
Oh, that's true.
So that's
that
what I'm
checks
saying.
Out. I like
We're throwing
that
a wheel in the spokes. So we ruined the first wheel with the wheel that we threw in the spokes.
Yeah.
But we can continue, and we will continue.
We will persevere.
On this Monday, May 5th, because we have that other said wheel that we threw in the spokes.
Mm-hmm.
We have replaced it. It's a smaller wheel.
But it still spins.
So we definitely look real funny going down the road. But what are you going to do?
We're good at balancing, I guess, really is what that shows.
Yabba dabba do.
Dip-a-dip-doop.
Let me double check here. Okay, we are recording.
Okay, good.
All right, Monday, May 5th, guys. I guess, well, it's Monday, so let's go ahead and do a little weekend check. Mike?
Well,
Movies or yeah?
Yeah. I took yesterday off. Took a little mental health day yesterday, which was nice.
Did Off appreciate you taking it?
Yes.
Good.
Definitely. I went and watched the Thunderbolts, which was real fun. It was great. I highly recommend it.
It's getting good reviews.
No, yeah. What are people saying about it? That's good.
Well, I don't know the reviews. I just know
Yeah.
that they're positive.
Oh, perfect.
Because the thing, I would never, ever read a review.
Yeah.
But I can't help hearing.
Yeah.
Because they like to make them headlines.
No,
and
it's
stuff,
true.
so.
That's true. But yeah, no, went and saw that Friday. It was nice relaxing Friday. And then we're taking Buttface to a musical tonight. We're going to go see the Addams Family musical this evening, and then we're going to, hopefully just relax tomorrow.
That sounds fun.
It should be.
Yeah, I
definitely
know there
should
was an
be.
Addams Family musical, but it makes so much sense that there is an Addams Family musical. Great. Well, what about you, James?
Nice.
I heard about that, yeah.
That's wild. Really? Twice?
I would have been spent after once. You got a lucky wife there. Okay.
That's true.
No, what did I do? Yeah, nothing. I've been walking,
Well, it's good.
because I went to the doctor and all that. I did miss yesterday, but that's okay. Because honestly, like, I feel, I don't know, 5 days a week, but I'm more interested in getting a bike because I just,
Right.
I have done that a lot. I mean, not a lot, obviously, but there have been periods of my life that I've been a pretty steady bike rider for, like, I don't want to over-exaggerate, for like a month, at a time or something like that. Or like whenever I didn't have a car, but I worked in a place that it was just more convenient to ride a bike than walk. Got some great rides in that. That was all. I loved that. So, no, that's where I just am most motivated, is in that kind of moment of whenever I'm huffing and puffing and I'm sweating, but I'm on a bike and like I'm cruising along. So
You've always been very natural on a bicycle.
Well,
it seems like to be an extension of yourself.
I appreciate that. Because you know what it is. Let me little lore about Wes. I'm an only child. Didn't mean to be that vulnerable. But no. My cousins learned to ride bikes before me, and they were a little bit younger than me, and I didn't like that. But I always kind of thought, like, well, I didn't think about this, but it just struck me of like, well, he learned it from his older brother, like, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so in that moment, what I really took away was like, oh, now I'm gonna do it. Wait, did I say learn to ride? Yeah, without training wheels, right?
Yeah.
Without training wheels. And I think, this has got to be one of the earliest memories I've ever had. Is also maybe 5, right? Maybe 4, maybe 5. If you remember before that, you must be a wizard. Because I don't at all. Really.
I don't know.
No. Anyway, but
I think 5 is my first memory when I cut my thumb. I got this gnarly scar.
But oh really?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oh yeah. I cut my thumb when I was my finger was like in my 20s, and It's still there a little bit.
Yeah, I got one on my finger
but-
from whenever you had your escape.
Oh,
in
right.
ice.
You're-
I was trying to like bend some scraped metal. I was like, well, I'm
That's
not
good.
doing that again.
Good lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Good lesson to learn. Yeah. Well, one of my first memorable scars. I mean, I had a lot of bike accidents, even though I apparently was natural on it. But it's funny that like, okay, if you like, this is such a dumb. Hey, you just heard my phone ring or my phone beep there. So congratulations, guys. That's in the mix. At least I think it is.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, through the mics.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I jokingly sent y'all a picture of me right after I got out of the shower, and I pushed my hair down real nice in a nice peninsula to clearly show my receding hairline.
It was beautiful.
And I kind of poked my, I went rigid, but then I poked,
Mhm.
and so it was very. I mean, honestly, like, did Picasso draw me? I really enjoyed it.
Did Picasso draw me?
Yeah, and but Shelby specifically replied with, "Why is your torso so long?" And here's the thing, I replied with, "I've wondered that my whole life."
It's a great question. I'm glad you asked.
Because I specifically have a memory, and I have always thought this. Like I have like a longer torso compared to like my legs. Like I'm 6 foot. Even-ish, maybe. Hey, I don't want to give myself anything. I'm at least 6 foot. That's all I can tell you. But it's mostly torso. That's kind of the weird thing. And I specifically remember my dad buying me pants like post-puberty. Maybe I was like 15, 16 or something. Probably 15, because if it was 16, I was driving my own ass, and that was preferred. But he just like kind of wouldn't believe the pants that I wanted to buy were the right pants because they were the same length of pants that he would wear, and I was already taller than him. And so I'm like trying to explain to my Nazi father. He's a Nazi, by the way. I tried future Nazi. At the time, he was a pending. It was pending, But I'm trying to explain to him like, no, I have like short, like my legs are just kind of like whatever, and I just have a longer torso. That's like why. Just look at that pic. You can tell.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Anyway, but yeah. I also think that maybe, though, because I rode so much fucking bicycle whenever I was a kid that my legs were, like, stunted. But that's, like, I'm making that up. I have no fucking clue.
I would like to see the science behind that, though.
That's
poses an interesting question.
I mean, it's not. It's just me, like, anecdotally being like, oh, yeah, they say, like, you shouldn't work out before puberty because it could stunt your growth. And it's like, maybe I did that to my legs. It makes no sense, dude. Like, don't worry.
Still funny,
I mean, it's just a theory that is a fun joke.
It's a fun theory for sure.
That's all I got. Yeah, so that's weekend check, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
You're not seeing any more movies this weekend? You did all your movie watching?
No, I think we're gonna go see the Thunderbolts again tomorrow. I usually do this with like
Different
most
crowds.
of the comic book movies. Is I will see the movie at least twice.
You're like, I want the Friday night crowd, but I also want that Sunday morning we're kind of hungover crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you want
the quieter crowds.
I say I would never read a review, but Mike does fantastic movie reviews that he posts weekly, and honestly, the most in-depth reviews he does are the multiple viewings, and you do get a better response of like, what is the Friday night kind of hyped crowd compared to those who are, they're dreading the end of the weekend on that Sunday morning. They're hungover, and Mike really likes to get that perspective. I don't mean to speak for you, Mike, if you want to elaborate.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely put in at least like the first 3 paragraphs of my review are definitely what's going on in the theater. You can really get a feel and a vibe for who's there and what they're hungry for.
By the way, if that sounds intimidating, Mike has redefined what a paragraph means. It's 2 sentences. So.
Yeah, no, it's brief, but it's quick and it's to the point. But you really get a feel of.
I remember the first time I went to one of your reviews, I thought your paragraphs were actually like those. Sometimes like an article will have like the bullet points of like what it's about. I thought that's what it was. I was like, oh, this is really exciting, and I like scrolled down to see the meat, and there was just, where's the beef? You know what I mean? But. It is not at all.
I don't review anything, guys.
Well, yeah, that's not true in any way. And it's just not where I thought that bit was. I did not know. I was gonna say, "Where's the beef?" at the end of.
Oh, that was great.
Man, that's a lot of text coming in, guys. Sorry, I accidentally text my friend that I talk about hockey with, and his team was eliminated, and my team may be eliminated.
Let's hope not.
Yeah. Nope. Oh, that's interesting.
Nice. That's cool.
Oh, see, now we're just getting interesting text left and right, guys. We got to stop being distracted. What happened on this day, May 5th, in history. Well, in 2023, Who said, hey, we really don't want to deal with all of the shit that people are talking to us about anymore, so we're just going to distance ourselves from the fact that there totally still is COVID going around pretty frequently. So we're just going to say it's over.
It's over. Congratulations, guys.
It's kind of like when George Bush was on that aircraft carrier with that banner, mission accomplished. My mom was crying. She was crying in Rowlett, Texas, you know, just a block or so from the Hella Shriner. I don't know why that's important. Texas Stadium was across the street.
Oh, fuck yeah, it was.
Man, I had some good times at Texas Stadium. If you don't get the pun, Texas Stadium is where the Cowboys used to play. So if you did get the pun, guess what? You're either like a weird, possibly on the spectrum level Cowboy nerd who's possibly 18.
Could be.
Or you're old.
Yep.
So it's one of those two things. Yeah, okay, well, on this day in 1994, American teenager Michael P. Fay is caned in Singapore for theft and vandalism. Got him! Yeah, don't be an asshole. I don't know what to tell you. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, over in America, I could do this, and they wouldn't, like, physically hurt me. Yeah, then you'd probably do it again.
You big dummy.
Has your child ever, like, gotten to the point where she realized, like, oh, I can kind of do what I want because he's not going to do this?
Not yet, and hopefully she doesn't.
Good. I never needed to get to that point. I was fine with like, yeah, just don't yell at me. That's totally cool.
Oh, speaking of Buttface, I moved her drum set into her room yesterday.
Yeah.
And now she's just playing it so much more. Cause she's just like hangs out in her room on the weekends, which is great.
That's good.
But then I just hear her going in and just like trying something out. I was like, oh fuck yeah, dude.
Good.
Hell yeah.
That's the interest you really want
Mm-hmm.
to hear. To be honest with you, yeah, you need that level of interaction with, because ultimately the conversation we were having before is like that's what I was really saying is like, it's as long as she's interested is the number one thing before she becomes, a preteen and perhaps a drummer for middle school or something.
Sure.
I don't know. It's different. School districts work differently. There could be a fucking organized music thing in whatever school she's going to now. I have no idea. There's probably not, but anyway, cool. That's good. Yeah, because man, I mean that's just the big deal is like the discipline's super important, but that comes way easier if she's already interested.
Right.
Anywho, all right. On this day in 1961, Alan Shepard becomes the first American to travel into space, and you know what he did? This is ours now. This is totally ours. All this, ours.
Everything I say is ours.
Man, can you imagine like? There was no space trash. There was no like, dead fucking
clean
satellites and
Yeah.
shit. Now you'd go up there and be like, yeah, can we just be done? Can we just start? Like, I'm fine. I'll go with them. Just start it over. It's fine. I'll go straight into the sun. All right. On this day in 1886, workers marched for an 8-hour workday in Milwaukee, and they were shot at by the Wisconsin National Guard. Okay, I'm sure the Wisconsin National Guard still exists. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, back then, that had to be so much more of, like, a job provider.
Yeah.
And that's what really kind of, like, I don't know. That's just a way of thinking about it that I never thought about these kinds of situations before, where it's like, hey, man, we're all struggling, and now you're a fucking soldier of the state, which is putting their boot on our neck because we just want like fair wages and like a fair life. Why are you even working for them? Because you want to suck Wisconsin's dick? No, because you just want to be able to live and have a family and shit. But here's the problem. Now it's just all whole racism and stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, history. Okay.
Oh, but don't forget, it's also Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to get to the music history. I did not mean to. We have limited time.
Yeah.
But it is important. It is Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Man. When I'm in Texas, I remember. That's what I'm saying.
Right. On this day in 1862, Mexico repelled the French forces of Napoleon III at the Battle of Puebla, a victory that became a symbol of resistance to foreign domination and is now celebrated as Cinco de Mayo.
Well, that is pretty overlooked considering how close it is to the Civil War, I suppose.
Yeah.
But let's just remember that Mexico had already outlawed slavery long before that. You know why?
Because it's wrong?
Because it's wrong. And Texas was theft. But anyway. On this day in music history, they said it's not good enough. Cinco de Mayo's not good enough. We got to release a record. On this day in 1978, Bob Seger releases his 10th album. Ooh. And of course it's got the worst song probably he's ever done. Old Time Rock and
That's right.
Roll. I don't know. It's his birthday this week too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he'll come up again. On this day in 2009, Conor Oberst's 5th studio album, second credited to the Mystic Valley Band. See, that was my question a while ago. Didn't they do 2? Anyway, Outer South is released. I don't know that there is one song from this record that I listen to.
Really?
Yeah, I'll have to revisit it to make sure I'm not missing anything, but nothing has struck me in my visit.
This is definitely a collaborative record versus
of course.
What was the other one? One of My Kind? Was that the record? I think the first one that featured
Sure, yeah.
the Mystic Valley Band.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, yep. Also on this day in 2009, St. Vincent drops her second album, Actor, with the single Actor Out of Work. This is also the first record to feature Mackenzie Smith on the drums.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Denton local there. All right. Action. Oh, nice. Yes, I like the Foley there you got going. On this day in the year 2000, Gladiator was released, and only 24 years later, a sequel sullied that memory.
Sullied is right.
That's right. It turns out this is Maximus' son. Like, okay, that's fun enough. We don't need a sequel where he can't act. You know what I mean?
Oh, but he can cry.
Dude, that guy sucks. I'm sorry. Like, okay, oh yeah, he was engaged to Phoebe Bridgers, and I might be a little jealous, even though they broke up.
I didn't know that. That's a fun fact.
Dude, I think Phoebe Bridgers is the biggest fuckboy in the world. Like, I think she, like, I think, I mean, there are accusations of that, but then I think she seriously just used this dude because she was like, this is going to help my fame.
Well, good for her.
I know.
I mean,
so fucking rock and roll.
Yeah.
I love her.
And I mean, I can't imagine he's complaining about it.
And if she wants, never mind. On this day in 2017, Galaxy Guardians 2 was released. And on this day in 2023, Galaxy Guardians 3.
That's fun.
was
Gal
released.
Guards 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Same
and
day.
on this day in 2006, Mission Impossible 3 was
I'm a big
released.
fan of those movies.
Well, Mission Impossible 3 might be the best one, in my opinion.
Does that have
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Of course. Yeah, that and he kills it. He absolutely kills it. It also just like, well, here's the thing. It's also kind of a turning of the technology that they use, so it kind of amps up like. It's the first time they use the like face masking thing.
Oh yeah, and
I
love that thing.
And I think it's the first one with Simon Pegg, and like so, all of them after that, like I could totally see if you weren't there for kind of the journey, not thinking it's the best one.
Right.
I mean, the second to last one was pretty good, and the latest one, the first of the last two, the first of the final two,
Yeah. Final Reckoning.
it was fine. But I felt like it was overhyped. It was fine.
Just a lot of setup, it feels like, for what's to come.
And you know what? A lot of that setup was like, "You're still alive? You're still alive?" I'm like, fuck this. We jumped the shark. Anyway, it's funny because they jumped the shark with Mission Impossible 2, and then they're re-jumping the shark. But anyway, all right, cool. Well, I thought we were maybe short on time. Let's take another moment for Cinco de Mayo. What am I doing over here, Russian? I'm sorry, Mexican. Sorry. No, I did think of what I think is maybe a funny joke, but it's also a controversial joke.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to be any one nationality or country. So let's just play it safe and let's say Russia.
Okay.
Isn't it weird how you're allowed to say that Californians are bad at driving, or that people from California are bad at driving, but you're not allowed to say that people from Russia are bad at driving?
Why is that?
Well, maybe the joke has to be racial.
Okay.
Because I guess, but that's the point. Okay, you know what? Maybe that's a funnier way of doing it. It's like, well, that joke doesn't make any sense. Oh, you know what? I misspoke. Isn't it funny how you can say people from California are bad at driving, but you're not allowed to say that people from Mexico are bad at driving? See, now you get it. It's a racial thing. But if you think it's a racial joke, that's because you're racist. I'm saying you could be lily white as me, but if you
lily white,
but if you were born in Mexico and you learned to drive in Mexico, you're gonna be a bad driver.
It is a different world of driving.
Well, but again, like it could literally be any other culture. That's kind of the joke.
Yeah.
That's why maybe it is funnier to start it off with like Russia, because then you realize like, oh shit, I'm making racial implications about something that really they could be horrible drivers in Russia. And if a guy who was born in Russia and raised in Russia, learned to drive in Russia, comes over here, it's a cultural difference. Like that's ultimately what the joke is about. Is the reason you can say, and that it is an observation to say that people from California are bad at driving, is because people in Texas drive different than people in California.
Well, in Soviet Russia, cars drive you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Cultural observation. You saved it. Sorry, I just read the fucking.
Yeah, dude.
And honestly, like, I mean, I'm gonna say it, but I'm not gonna explain it. Turning 42, one of the most overrated actors in the world, the horsepick famed Henry Cavill. Turning 37, Adele. Turning 81, Jonathan Rhys Davies. He's not Boromir? No, I don't remember the fucking dwarf's name in Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
But that's him. Turning 40.
He was in Sliders.
Oh yes, that's correct. Turning 46, Vincent Karashir, Mad Men. He was in Mad Men.
Okay.
He was also like, I can't remember, Masterminds with Patrick Stewart. Like it's a 90s movie that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. He was like kind of like a child teen star, and then he ended up being like Mad Men, and that's fun too.
Gotcha.
Anyway, turning 68, Richard E. Grant, British actor. You know, probably most recently known for being alternative Loki. We have time for one more. What do you want to do?
Turn 38, Jessie Cave, Lavender Brown herself.
Oh, Lavender Brown. Yeah,